Our first Balloon Fest was in 2006. We had just moved up to the area, and I mean, we loved the area. We were Lake George vacationers for years. I was a Lake George vacationer since I'm a kid. My family came up, and we started bringing my family up when we had kids, and my wife and I. And we moved up here. We closed on the house in July, and our first Balloon Fest, it was September. We didn't even know there was a Balloon Fest. We didn't even know what the Balloon Fest was. We were blown away with what we saw. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to Lake George this week. I'm Jim, your host. Welcome, welcome. This week we have a lot of good stuff coming up to you, so you're gonna have a lot of good information going to be thrown at you today. Uh, uh, Welcome to the podcast. This is the Lake George This Week podcast. If you're a local person and you're from the area in the 518, you're going to get a lot out of this podcast because we don't take advantage of what goes on in our backyard, and it's here. We live in one of the most beautiful areas in the country, and we should be taking advantage of all of these things, all these festivals, all of these beautiful sites around that we need to. And this podcast is going to bring it to you so you can see it. All your activities, all your festivals, all your carnivals, all your shows, everything that's going on, we're going to bring it to you every week. Now, if you're somebody who vacations in the area, comes to the area every once in a while, you're going to get a lot out of this podcast because for the very simple reason, you come up here for a short period of time. You want to pack as much activity in as you can. So you want to know what's going on the week you're coming so you can get everything done. And God forbid there's a rain day. What do? I'm going to let you know. You're going to know everything you need to know to have a great time in the area. We're going to cover everything from Plattsburgh to Saratoga, but mostly concentrating on the Lake George area. Everybody was saying you have to see the Balloon Fest. You have to get to Crandall Island. You have to see the moon. I think they call it the moonbeam light up. They light the balloons up at night, and they set them up, and they don't take off in Crandall Park in Glens Falls by the YMCA there, and the kids were blown away. They were amazed. All the different shapes, all the different colors, all the different styles, all the balloons around. And you can walk around and get real close to them. And we were just amazed at what a wonderful place we had moved to. And that was just day one. The Balloon Fest was 3 days. The next day, we went over to uh, Floyd Bennett Field. So Floyd Bennett Field is a small airport in the area. And I didn't even know it was an actual airport that there was actual in use, and I was amazed to find out that it was in use. And they had this balloon fest. We sat in traffic. The only traffic I've ever seen in Lake George was for the balloon fest. At the beginning of September, on the route to Floyd Bennett Field, they start putting up these little signs with balloons on them, and I didn't even know what they were. I had no idea what the Balloon Fest was, that it even existed. But I noticed the signs that were on the road, and then everybody was telling us what it was. So we went to Crandall Park for the first night. The second night, we were in traffic on our way to Floyd Bennett Field. We had no idea it was going to take us so long to get there. It was usually like a 7 or 8 minute drive. It took me about 20 minutes to get there, sitting in traffic, and which is fine because as you're looking up on your way there, the sky is dotted with balloons. These things are hanging up there, kind of like Christmas decorations on the tree, and they're just hanging in the sky. It's a beautiful, beautiful sight. Peaceful, very peaceful and quiet. These things make no noise when they go by. And, so you're watching that while you're in traffic on your way to Floyd Bennett Field to see the Balloon Fest. And then you get there, and it's like a carnival setting. There are balloons on the ground. There are balloons in the air. There's all kinds of, carnival setting. They've got vendors. They've got games. They've got all kinds of things going on. Great thing for the family. And, and the balloons go up. And that was the second day. And we had such a great time. The third day, again, they went up. We came down earlier in the day on Sunday to see them go up. And again, we were amazed when we were taking bets as to what would go up farther, what would go faster, what would go further. We actually saw one balloon land on the roof of a factory or some kind of warehouse. And we saw the balloon chasers pull up next to it and get out and help them out and get them down and pack up the balloon and put it in the back of a truck. It was crazy. You see it come down out of the sky and land. And that was our first experience with the Adirondack Balloon Fest. if you have a function or an activity or some kind of event that's going on, you can always email us at lakegeorgethisweek.com. lakegeorgethisweek.com. Let us know what's going on so we can cover it for you and let everybody know what's going on. So don't forget to email us at lakegeorgethisweek.com. Let us know your event or activity or what's going on with you. This week in Lake George, we're talking about the Adirondack Balloon Fest. The 51st annual Adirondack Balloon Fest is going on from September 19th to the 22nd in 2024. The first night is a Friday night. They're going to have what they call, hold on, let me take a look at here so I don't misquote it, because I think I misquoted it before. It is the moonglow. I was right, the moonglow at Crandall Park, which that's in Glens Falls, New York. And it's the opening ceremonies performed by the Refrigerators, and the flight of up to 15 balloons and a balloon moonglow over Crandall Park. It's a beautiful thing. You're going to see all the balloons lit up at night, and really exciting, and the kids can get real up close to them. And then Saturday the 20th, there's a craft fair morning flight of up to 100 balloons in the sky, musical performances, an evening flight of up to 50 balloons, and a moonglow again with 40-plus balloons at the Floyd Bennett Memorial Airport. And then on Sunday, it wraps up with another craft fair morning flight of up to 100 balloons at the Floyd Bennett Memorial Airport. And note, all balloon festival events are weather permitting, and there's no smoking anywhere in the area at all. No smoking, no vaping, no dogs, no drones, no remote control aircrafts are allowed in any of the balloon festival events, and there is no VIP parking passes left. So the official 2024 Adirondack Balloon Festival schedule is Thursday, September 19th at Crandall Park in Glens Falls. From 4 to 6 p.m. is the opening musical performance. Then at 5 p.m. is the opening ceremonies. The food and vendors and kids and activities are going on. From 5:30 until 6:15, there's going to be a flight of up to 15 balloons, special shapes, all different possibilities. And from 7 to 9, there's going to be a musical performance by the Refrigerators. And then at 7:45 p.m. is going to be the balloon moonglow. It's going to be approximate when it gets dark, 7:45 or so, and then they'll do the moonglow. And that's Thursday night opening ceremonies. Now, Friday, September 20th at Floyd Bennett Memorial Airport, 3 p.m. gates open. A craft fair by Zatanna, kids activities and food vendors. 4 to 6 p.m. is the music performances, and then 5 to 6:15 is flight of up to 70 balloons, including the special shapes. You're going to be very blown away by all these different special shapes. And then, of course, on Saturday, September 21st, at Floyd Bennett Memorial Airport, 5 a.m., there's going to be a craft fair, kids activities, food vendors, 6:30 a.m., 7:30 a.m., from 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. It's going to be 100 balloons going up, including special shapes. Okay, and then 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. is musical performances. 5 to 7 is going to be musical performances. 5 p.m. to 6:15 is going to be a flight of another 50 balloons, including special shapes. 7:45, there's going to be another moonglow with like 40 balloons lighting up, 40 balloons. And then Sunday on the 22nd, Floyd Bennett Memorial Airport. At 5 a.m. there's going to be the craft fair. Then 6:30 a.m. there's going to be a flight of up to 100 balloons. Okay, special shapes and sizes. And at 10 a.m. the gates close. They have special shapes. They have the snowman. They have the Tasmanian devil. They have the sun, the one with all the rays of the sun. They have all these different ones that you can come and see. Bring the kids. You can have a blast of a time. You can have an awesome day. Actually, it's an awesome 4-day weekend, and you can and it's in the fall. Beautiful, beautiful backdrop of the Adirondacks in the fall. You're not going to want to miss it. Okay, the next thing we got coming down, the next event we got going on is the American Revolution Experience. The American Revolution Experience is in Hadley Luzerne Historical Society. They're excited to announce this event, and it's going to be held at the Lake Luzerne Library. Okay, the exhibit is only from Tuesday, September 10th through Friday, September 27th at the library, and the hours are 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays is 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sundays is 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And it's only going to be about 60 stops for the American Revolution Experience. 64 stops. You're not going to want to miss it if you're a history buff. American Revolution Experience at the Lake Luzerne Library. Now, if you've worked up an appetite here in the Lake George this week podcast, you're going to want to go to Wing Night. Wing Night every third Wednesday of the month. Wing Night is at the Fraternal Order of Eagles, okay, and that's down in South Glens Falls on Main Street. Yeah, you can eat all the wings you want, and that's at 80 Main Street in South Glens Falls. And you can't beat it. You can't beat it. Wing Night. Are you looking for a little culture? The Lake George Dinner Theater is presenting Old Love, and that is at the Holiday Inn Lake George. Old Love, put together by the Lake George Dinner Theater. It's a classic story, a love story of somebody who falls in love with somebody else, but the other person always forgets who they are. They run into each other throughout life, bumping into each other, and it's awkward, odd, interesting situations. Old Love. You're going to love that. Lake George Dinner Theater. And that is the 17th to the 21st. Okay. And that's at the Holiday Inn Lake George. Okay. You don't want to miss that. Hey, did you know you were invited to karaoke night? Karaoke night at the Thousand Acre Ranch, and that's in Stony Creek. Okay, and that's the 19th, September 19th at 7 p.m. Karaoke night. You're not going to want to miss that at all. And that's hosted every other Thursday at the Stony Creek Thousand Acre Ranch and Resort. Okay, and you're not going to want to miss that. You know, everybody loves karaoke, and it's a great way to unwind and relax and hang out with friends. It was fall, and in fall we're starting to think about Halloween and spooky stuff. This is the Haunted History Ghost Tours at Fort William Henry, and you're not going to want to miss this if you're into that kind of stuff. It takes about 45 minutes to get through the tour, and various dates. We're going to talk about August 24th to September 1st, and September 13th and 14th, September 20th and 21st, and September 27th and 28th, and then on through October. Every weekend in October, they take you through the Fort William Henry, all the ghosts, and there is actual real live ghosts. And I think you get there about 6 o'clock at night, if I don't forget. Let me take a look. 6 p.m. at Fort William Henry in Lake George, downtown Lake George, and they're going to show you. And of course, they've got gallows in there. They've got people have died in that area. There's lots of ghosts, a lot of ghost stories in and around the fort. Okay, you're really going to have a nice time, a spooky time. You may even see some ghosts. That's going on now. Everybody's getting into this line dancing, country singing, country music, line dancing. And again, Thousand Acre Ranch, this is line dancing class. So if you were interested or curious about line dancing and you don't know what you're doing, you got two left feet, this is your chance. So this is September 20th at 7 p.m. September 20th at 7 p.m. at the Thousand Acre Ranch. And that's over in Stony Creek. It's 465 Warrensburg Road in Stony Creek. Okay, 465 Warrensburg Road in Stony Creek, and that is the Thousand Acre Ranch. You got the karaoke going on, and now you got the line dancing going on. So don't miss that. You're going to really have a good time line dancing. 2024 official King George Fishing Derby has been canceled. There was a $7,000 cash prize for the biggest catch in the lake trout, salmon, bass, and northern pike, but it's been canceled. Sorry to say, I'm not sure. There's no reason, there's no official reason, and there's no rescheduled date that I can see at this time. So the King George Fishing Derby 2024 has been officially canceled this year. Okay, this one goes out to the residents of the area, local people only. Okay, well, it's not really local people only, it's for everybody, but local people get in for free. This is the Community Appreciation Day at Fort William Henry, and it's a couple of days. It's the 21st and the 22nd, and residents of Warren, Washington, and Saratoga County will get in for free, and there's a Community Appreciation Day. You're going to have all kinds of stuff going on there. Of course, I'm not sure what the charge is. Let me see if I can find out. If you're not a resident, no, it just says free admission. So, Community Appreciation Day at Fort William Henry in Lake George. Okay. Six Flags Great Escape is going to be hosting Oktoberfest. Okay, Oktoberfest is going on from August 24th to September 22nd. You might say, that's not even October, Jim. Oktoberfest is in October. It's not. October, in German, Ok is the eighth month. Ok is eight, so October. Oktoberfest would be August, the eighth month, right? So that's when they have at the end of August, the beginning of September. It runs through at the Great Escape and Hurricane Harbor, and you can have ethnic beers and foods and all kinds of festival fun, bratwurst and pretzels and all kinds of refreshing stuff, traditional folk dancing and all kinds of stuff going on right there. And you can check that out at the Oktoberfest at the Great Escape. Okay, this is another one for the history buffs. Another one for the history buffs now. The French and Indian War reenactment on Rogers Island. And Rogers Island is in Fort Edward, New York, and they're going to have a live French and Indian War reenactment. So if you're interested in something like that, now it's kind of brutal. It's kind of crazy what happened there. So you got to be careful if you bring in the little ones. Of course, they're not going to shed any blood there or anything, but it could get a little bit crazy looking with all the shots going off and all the people falling on the ground. So it could be a little disturbing. So be careful, and let them know what's going on. But it is history. It's a living history, life history going on in Fort Edward at Rogers Island, the French and Indian War reenactment, and that is Saturday the 21st until Sunday the 22nd. Okay, and there's various activities going on, and that's 11 Rogers Island Drive in Fort Edward. Okay, and it's free admission to get in, free admission, so you can't beat that. Free admission. That's the French and Indian War reenactment on Rogers Island. Okay, this is the In-Water Boat Show. The In-Water Boat Show, the Lake George In-Water Boat Show. And it's right on Beach Road in Lake George. Now, when do you get the opportunity to go to a boat show where they're in the water? Usually they're in a big warehouse or outside of a mall somewhere where you're going on and they're dry docked somewhere. Where are you going to get a chance to get on the ships, on the boats, and when they're in the water? Okay, when they're floating on the water, that's when you want to see them. That's when you want to be on them. You get a good feel for them when they're there. Now that's going to happen, and you're going to have all these exhibitors to be there. You're going to have a Adirondack Marine, Boats by George, Castaway Marina, Chicks Marina, Easy Marine. Everybody's going to be there. Okay, everybody's going to be there. We're going to have all kinds of boats there, so you can see all kinds of stuff. And it's great chance to get on the water and be in and off all of these boats. So that's happening on the 21st and the 22nd at 10 a.m. The 21st and the 22nd at 10 a.m. That's the Lake George In-Water Boat Show. You're not going to want to miss that. That's going to be an incredible show. So here we are at the Lake George This Week podcast. Now, if you have an event coming up or you have a business in the area that you would like me to showcase, you can let me know. You can email me again at, actually, you can go to lakegeorgethisweek.com, and there's a way you can email me over there, and you can sign up for the newsletter. And let me know what's going on in your area. If you're having an event going on, let me know, so we can get it covered, so we can bring it out to everybody. We go live once a week and bring everything going from Monday to Sunday, so we let you know what's going on in the upcoming week, so you can make the best use of your time, because time is precious. Time is precious, and you want to fill all your time with activities. You want to waste any time, because time is precious. We don't know how much time we have left on this earth. And you don't want to be sitting on the couch on the weekend when you could be out having fun. That's what this podcast is all about. Get off the couch, get out, have a great time, see what's out there in your own backyard, or if you're visiting our lovely area. It's also to keep you busy so you don't waste any of your valuable vacation time, okay? And you're not going to want to miss next week. Next week, again, we're going to be talking about the Oktoberfest and the world's largest garage sale. The world's largest garage sale is happening, coming up, and then that's in Warrensburg, New York. You're not going to want to miss that. Starting next week, we're going to have other segments on the show where we're going to talk about local music, the local music scene, and the local sports scene. Okay, the local sports scene, the football season is starting to pick up. The local football season is picking up. We've got a couple of professional ball teams here. We've got a baseball team, we've got football team, and we've got a hockey team all in the area. And so we'll be bringing you all of the information with the local sports and the local music scene. We got a lot of great music to bring to you locally. We've got SPAC, we got the Saratoga Performing Arts Center, a lot of good shows going on there. We got a lot of local music, a lot of local people, a lot of cover bands, a lot of places to catch some good shows coming up. So make sure you don't miss any of that. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. So follow me wherever you are. Follow me on all the socials, and so you don't miss anything. This is going to be very, very big. And I'm Jim, your host, and hope to see you next week when we touch base on a lot of nice things that are going on in the area. Hope to see you there. Don't miss it. Don't forget to subscribe.